Hey guys, it's Sebastian here from Skycomp, and today I'm going to show you the ultimate virtual meeting video setup. Ever since the pandemic started, we've all had to convert ourselves to virtual meetings, virtual learning. Everything has gone online, and it's been tricky for some people and not so tricky for others. Luckily for Skycomp, we're an IT company and we have a lot of resources with technology, so we can really make it easy for most of our clients and ourselves to meet virtually. We're really lucky in that sense, but we understand that a lot of you out there aren't that lucky, or you're not connected to someone who can help you with technology. But never fear, we're here to show you a little bit of a hack in order to get the best out of your virtual meetings. So over here, you can see in the foreground of this kind of wide shot here that I have, we have a camera. And what I'm doing is I'm sending this camera, this one in the foreground, this is actually a Nikon D5600, and we're sending that camera into my laptop, and we're using that as a webcam. So it's gonna look phenomenally better than the crappy, let's just show an example of what, you know, that other camera looks like, right? So yeah, so we just have this kind of, it doesn't look so great. I kind of look pale on there, and just not what we're really looking for in a webcam. So it doesn't look the greatest. It's kind of pixelated, kind of blurry, but we can fix that with this little hack I'm going to show you guys today. So a couple things I'm doing. So I mentioned the Nikon D5600. That is a DSLR camera, or that's a digital single lens reflex. And what that is, it's just your standard point and shoot camera. But what this particular model, the D5600, what this model has is an HDMI, it's a mini HDMI output. So what's that? We're just taking the video signal that's sending out, and we're putting that into the laptop here. Now you're probably wondering, you can't just plug an HDMI into the HDMI out of a laptop and get the signal. So we have a device here that's been kind of sitting in the foreground there of the shot, but this is called the AverMedia Live Gamer Mini. And this device is awesome for something like this, like a simple task. Lots of people use it for capturing their video game device into their computer so they can record it for like a Twitch stream or something like that. But we can easily use it for our virtual meetings. And it has an HDMI output and an HDMI input. So we're just taking the HDMI output from the DSLR camera and we're putting it into the input of the AverMedia Live Gamer Mini. And from there, that signal is transferred to this cable. This is just a standard USB cable, and that goes into the computer and picks up that camera signal in Zoom, Teams, WebEx, whatever platform you're using. I've mainly used Zoom, Teams, and WebEx, but most other, like Google Meet, for example, would accept the signal as well. That's all the only four I've tested. If you have any other virtual meeting software that you use that you've connected successfully an external capture card to, I would love to know, and you can comment that below. That'd be really, really helpful. You can get a whole bunch of different models of these. This is just a very simple, cheap model that we got from Amazon, and it's very straightforward. You can get more complicated ones, you can get ones with more inputs, you can get ones that can switch. There's many other options. 4K, this one just takes a simple HD signal and converts it into a USB that your computer can read. So we're essentially plugging in a USB webcam. It's really, really simple that way. So the next thing I want to show you is actually on the computer screen here. So up in the top kind of right-hand corner, there's 3 dots. And there we can click on that and we can see that there's device settings. So we have a bunch of options here for device settings. And at the bottom, there's a Live Gamer Mini option. So I have that selected already, but we can switch back to the integrated USB camera so you can see what that looks like. You can see how terrible of quality that is. So we're gonna not use that, but the point of this is you should be able to see, as soon as you plug that in, you should be able to see the Live Gamer Mini as an option in Teams, WebEx, or Zoom in your camera or device settings. Very straightforward. If you run into issues with setup of the AverMedia specifically, just to give you an example, I plugged this into the laptop here just for this video, and it took 2 minutes for it to read, set up the drivers, and be working. So if you plug it in, give it 2 minutes, it should give you a couple of pop-ups that say, this device is setting up, this device is now working properly. It'll give you those notifications on your Windows computer. If you don't get those notifications, check your device settings and see if it's reading. You might have to go to the support page of the specific capture card and download the drivers and install them manually. But again, that sounds complicated. It's really not. We can go over some more tutorials of installing drivers later. Something to make sure if you're shopping for a DSLR camera, you just want to make sure that it has an HDMI output. This is key for this setup. If you don't have a camera or a DSLR with an HDMI output, you won't be able to achieve this. I have tried with USB converters and different things. It just doesn't work. It's too much of a hassle for me. So I recommend finding a DSLR with an HDMI output. The next thing that I want to talk about is audio. So right here, I have a Samson C03 USB microphone. You've kind of seen this in the foreground of my frame. What this is it's just a simple kind of USB microphone that plugs directly into your laptop and picks up the audio signal for you. So a couple different things, a couple different microphones to think about. I mean, right now I'm wearing a lavalier microphone as well. That's wireless, that's connecting to my main camera. I'm gonna switch between the audio now. So this audio is from the lavalier microphone that we're recording this video with. This audio is now from the video call that's being recorded through Teams. So you can see the slight difference in audio. You can hear it, but why I decided to put the Samson microphone in this tutorial is just because if you're not sitting down at a meeting, I mean, I've been on a whole bunch of virtual meetings and sometimes, oh shoot, I forgot my cup of coffee, or oh shoot, I need this paper and I left it in the other room. Whatever the excuse may be, having a mic that's sitting here that's not following you around is a good thing. If you forget to mute this microphone and you go to the washroom, or you're talking on the phone with someone else and the meeting is still going and you forgot to mute yourself, everyone's hearing what you're saying in the meeting. So we want to avoid that just by keeping the microphone by your desk. It's a simple thing. It might not happen to you. You might say, no, I always mute my microphones. I'm always smart with that. Well, then go for it, get a lav microphone. But this just makes sure that the quality of audio is constant. It's sitting by your desk. You don't have anything attached to you. You can move around freely and people can hear you nice and clearly. USB mics come in all different shapes and sizes. You don't have to go with this specific Samson C03. I just like this microphone a lot. It served me well, hasn't died on me yet. So I really recommend it highly. But I can show you actually in the device settings here how to set up the Samson. It's the same process as setting up the camera, it's just in the audio options. So here we actually have a few options of a microphone. So you can actually use the microphone from the capture card. We don't want to do that. That audio is going to be terrible because it's garbled and there's a little mic on here somewhere. There's a tiny little microphone on there. We'd rather use the broadcast level one. So we're just going to make sure it's selected in our device settings here. And so now we're kind of ready for our meeting. And you can see on this other angle I have here that I've been recording on this camera as well, but I have it coming through Teams so you can see what it looks like compared to the other. You can kind of see what this looks like compared to this kind of crappy webcam. Not to say that all webcams are bad, but you can do better with a DSLR camera. The next thing I want to talk about is light and lighting. So I can show you a couple different tools that I'm using right now. If we go to, I have a wide camera shot set up in the corner of the room, high up on a tripod over there, and you can actually see what kind of big setup we have in here, what I'm talking to on camera, and what that looks like. You can see that I have some LED panels set up in here. That are pointing up at the ceiling, that are creating a nice soft kind of light bouncing off the white ceiling and hitting me. So when you're looking on this main camera angle and even the webcam angle that I have here, it really just looks even and soft and normal light. I can show you what it looks like if I just flip on the main lights in here, because I have the main lights off. So these are just fluorescent lights. You can see it got a little bit more yellow. I'm not a huge fan of this look, so I just make sure that my main lights are off. Now you're probably wondering, okay, I don't have a huge LED panel or 2 LED panels to make this work. Never fear, there's always Amazon, right? So I have here just a simple LED light bar, and you can get these online for fairly cheap, and it works the same as an LED panel would, and I can just flip it on here for you. So that's super bright. Having something like this just pointed up at your ceiling, bouncing down on yourself, creating a nice even light would be all you would need. And most office spaces, or even home office spaces that I've seen, you have like a little desk lamp, you have some form of light. And that's what DSLRs and cameras really need, is just a little bit of light to kind of elevate the space you're in. If you're really interested in making your setup look super duper professional, you can pick up some LED panels and really light yourself, but we can talk about that in a different video. If you'd like to see another video where I show you how to edit meeting recordings, you can click here. And if you'd like to see other videos on Microsoft Teams and how to be an awesome meeting host, you can click over here. And for more videos and to help us out here at Skycomp, just hit the subscribe button right here. Thanks for watching.